it's raining and it's like a hot box in here. So
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm Grimm.
I'm Ole Grizz.
now I'm Fallout.
And heading back out, nice and warm. Leaves are nice and green. Stream is, well, it's running because we had a bit of a monsoon season recently. But Fallout is with us. Great to have him back. Long overdue. And I think for Fallout it's going to be a great time for him to dust off some of those skills, and what better way to do that than to go out and bug out in some wilderness. So why don't you join us on this bug out adventure. Taking a bit of a break here because if you can see the trail,
Better than me.
it's back there somewhere, and a couple miles in, and kind of begs the question: did we walk our packs, our bags before we came out? What about you, Fallout?
Truth be told, I simply did not have time. I was on a time constraint. I didn't have any time to do it, and I'm paying for it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good bag. I just packed it kind of sloppily, and you know, it's not comfortable this time around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you constantly have to make some adjustments. So, but if you kind of want to, actually, I gotta ask. Well, Grizz, how's your pack doing?
My pack's doing just fine. Just the trail that's disappearing all the time.
Yeah. Well, if you're kind of curious what we mean by talking about this walk your pack, walk your bag, do yourself a favor and check out the link that's going to be popping up in the corner for the bot, Walk Your Bag, because as you can see from Fallout here, it's pretty important. And once everybody is recouped, we got to keep on going. And this is the view of our new campsite. Established campsite. So it's going to take some comfort in having some backs to lean up against on, but pretty nice. Plenty of water, as you can tell. Time to set up. Looks like Ole Grizz is getting the fire going.
Old-fashioned way.
Old-fashioned way? And what's the old-fashioned way, Ole Grizz?
Pick.
What did you use for your tinder?
One of those packets of
Oh, something out of your MRE that you had from before?
yeah.
Oh, smart move.
Yeah, I think I need more.
Better work on that fire bit there.
Yeah,
He'll get it going. I swear, one day, I'm gonna get him to use a ferro rod. Camp is set. Fire's going. We got our food. It's all heated up, but now it's conflicted card time. So, actually, in honor of Fallout being here, We're gonna let him pick.
Let's see.
That one right there? Alright.
And get seated. Card reads as such. A human trafficker's caravan arrived at the local trading outpost, offering ammunition, food, and water in exchange for prisoners. You have 3 families as prisoners. The husbands and wives tried to loot your camp, but fell into your hands. These prisoners require 30% of your supplies and manpower to look after them. The people in your camp are growing tired of sharing the little food you have. You can't replenish your supplies at this time without placing people at a considerable risk. Everyone is looking to you as the leader to make the right decision. Would you sell the families and their kids or not? And why?
Well, why is the hard part, but the pretty simple answer is I'm not selling anybody off. I mean, yeah, they did wrong, but 2 wrongs, in my opinion, don't make a right. And I wouldn't want to lay my head on my pillow at night knowing I sold off children and women. And
yeah.
Whether they did something wrong or not, I mean, that can be argued. I mean, they're just trying to survive too, stealing.
Right.
They're trying to survive. So I would not sell them off, although what to do about the situation at hand, who knows? You just gotta leave it in God's hands, I guess.
So you would not sell them off.
Yes.
And the why again was?
Well, I just couldn't. Conscience.
Conscience.
My conscience.
Conscience, that's fine.
Yeah, my conscience is not going to allow me to do that. Morals ain't going to let me to do that. I can't do it.
That's fair. Ole Grizz?
I ain't got no morals. I sell them.
You sell them. Wow, I
Wait a minute. Now,
didn't.
this is we're not talking about today.
I didn't expect that.
Around our campfire, we're talking about apocalyptic. This is it. And these people did this, and I might give them an option of picking X amount of people from their group to be sold off. The other question is, it's not on the conflict card. What are they buying them for? Sex? Are they eating them? Are they making them work?
That's true. What are they using them for?
Those answers to those questions might change my mind, but for selling these people off for supplies to keep my people, my loyal people alive, I'm sorry, I'd sell them.
All right. Wow. Okay.
Well, Grimm on you now. What would you do?
Yeah, what would I do? Wow.
50-50 right now.
Right in the middle here.
50-50 here.
Stuck in the middle. Maybe I'd split it down the middle. Sell the men. You know, because again, we don't know from the conflicted card of whether it's like sex traffic or.
But you're also splitting up a family doing that too.
True.
Whether they were wrong or right in stealing.
True.
You are splitting up a family.
True, but like kids can be molded. Kids can be molded to be actual, you know, products of your new group.
Yeah, productive members
of the group. Obviously, the parents are not, because they're still in they've been prisoners for a period of time, enough for the camp to be angry that they're there. So clearly, the adults are, you know, bad mojo, whatever. They're not changing their ways, or don't seem to be changing. Whereas the kids, I feel like there might be a possibility that, depending on their age, if they're, let's say, 13 or below, possible. 13 and above,
probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
What you're talking about here, again, post-apocalyptic, you know.
You're talking Mad Max. You're talking Mad Max.
Well, according to the conflict card, you can't resupply yourself except for this way.
Well, if you got rid of the males, or the males and the adults, and kept the kids, then you would probably be able to resupply yourself at that point. Plus, you would get the ammunition from the prisoner trader, the slave trader, basically.
Basically.
So, I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna sell the men, possibly sell the women, hope to God they're not being in a sex trade, and keep the kids if they're under a certain age, and I'm gonna do that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but we don't know how big the camp is, and we're dwindling. And they did pick the wrong path. They tried to rob me and loot me. The fact that I didn't kill them in the beginning actually is the question asked me. That's a fun one, but we got Fallout's answer, we got Ole Grizz's answer, we got my answer. Now we want to know what you think, so leave your comments down below and let us know what you would do. Would you keep these people, or would you sell them off for your own good? So, and if you like these conflict cards, there will be a sponsored link in the description so you can pick up your own pack. It's bedtime, and it was a great day.
This is my signing off for the night. It's going to be a long night for me because I am definitely not tired, and I'm not used to sleeping near a roaring river. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
It's a pleasant night. You can hear the waterfalls.
I'm used to pretty quiet, so we'll see how that goes. Got a little colder tonight than I expected for it to be.
I'm looking forward to exploring this area a little bit more, seeing what's around, features, things that we can use to our advantage, wild edibles.
Big stream. Oh, I'd say 25, 30 feet across easy.
So I'm going to sit here and probably go stir crazy a little bit, and we'll probably see you in the morning, okay? This is Fallout signing off.
Ole Grizz saying good night now.
Good night.
This is Fallout. Still awake. Still here. First night. Be wise in your location when you pick one, because the nights and days even can get really lonely. And honestly, I feel a little bit lonely right now. This is Fallout, signing off.
Day 2. I can hear the gang stirring around, so time for me to do as well. And it looks like a pretty nice day. Fallout is working on grabbing some boughs, and we are kind of doing a little recon around the immediate area around our campsite. And as we were doing it, we saw this. Kind of looks like a person, but actually it's a sleeping bag. No campsite nearby, and well, we're gonna check it out. But Fallout, I think you said you had a cold night last night.
Yeah, a cold night. Being that it's summertime where we're at, I didn't feel the need for a sleeping bag, just a thin little sheet, you know. So this is actually going to be a good find for me. I want to actually utilize this tonight.
So when you're in a survival situation, you find something.
Yeah.
You
One
use
person's trash, another person's gold.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those are some cold, wet toes right there. There's Fallout.
My feet killing me. Should have used the walking stick to get across.
Yeah.
Slipping on rocks and bashing your feet and other rocks just isn't healthy.
Yeah, I agree. There's Ole Grizz over there. He's slowly making his way across. He's got a walking stick, and then I was using the tripod. But by far the deepest stream crossing we've done thus far. And like Fallout said, if you're doing something like this, you're going to want some sort of a walking stick. I'm just glad the sun's out to warm up the toes.
Here we are, walking along this trail, trying to reach a summit here. We're trying to get our bearings and see what we got around us. Some of the walk is rough, some of it's easy, and that's where we're heading, up there. It's a good walk to the summit. We'll see how long it takes us. We've walked a little over 2 hours now. We don't know exactly how long, but we know roughly it's been over 2. And after all that rocky trail, we switched to a completely different view. Take a look. Well, we made it.
We did.
Here we are.
Wow. I mean, it was tough. We are far away from water, but I mean, you could sit here for what? Hours and map this area out, so you would know.
That is true.
Your new area, so to speak. I was sitting here enjoying some nice, cool river water that I just gathered and much needed after that long recon hike. Well, while I was down there, I was looking around and I noticed there were a few pockets where fish might like to hang out in the shade, sheltered from the current. And I thought, while I'm here, why not give it a try? Do some fishing. So, got my cigar fishing kit right here. It's got everything I needed to do a nice little hand line out there, and given how wide the river is, not too bad. But if you want to know how to make your very own cigar fishing kit, check out the links going to be popping up in the corner for the Pioneer Prep cigar fishing kit.
We're gonna start a fire. I haven't done one in a while. Might be a little rusty, but what I did here was I got a piece of dry birch bark here. Birch bark, I believe it's birch bark. And then I put some a little bit of lint in there, and I used some chapstick as an accelerant. I found some little bits of charred wood that somebody else used before in the fire, and some dried bits of punky wood here. And I got a lot of prep work done here, as you see. I got some leaves just to start out with, and I got little bits of wood in different stages here, as you can see, all the way up to big things. And I have a pile ready in the middle here.
Alright, and how are you igniting it?
I'm just going to use the good old waterproof matches we went over one of our bug outs. It's got 2 burns on it, so with luck, this should all work out.
Alright.
Slide this in here. This may not work. That one may not work now because I can't hold it. The second burn.
Violet was having trouble with those types of matches too.
Maybe needs to be loosened up. I probably need some air. Probably had it too tight in there. So let's try it again. Not working today. Where is it? Hold on.
You got something caught in there.
We're going to use the billow here, so we can get a little air to it.
You got a little flame right there on some char or something right above it. Oh, I think it just went out. That looks a lot better.
Smother it. Careful with leaves.
There you go, that's coming to life now. Well, I'm gonna let you get to that. I think you got it pretty good. Maybe a little rusty, but still got the job done. While I was working on that fire and I've been wandering around sort of foraging, found something I didn't expect. At least not in the woods. And that's this little guy. And we should all recognize it. It's our favorite weed that just loves to destroy our pretty lawns. But actually, you can eat dandelions. They are bitter though, but I dig it. Fire's going pretty good, but as always, you need more firewood, and Fallout is working on behind some wood with his K-bar. And how's that K-bar been treating you?
very well. Even though it looks very tactical, it's a good sturdy survival knife.
Nice. That's the Tonto one, right?
Yes, that's the Tonto one. You can check out the full review if you want on a link that'll be popping up.
Nice. Well, we're in bed a whole lot sooner than expected. Rain came and Ole Grizz and I had to throw up our rain flies real quick. But it is warmer.
It's raining and it's like a hot box in here. So, I'm not really that tired.
A long hike up to a pretty spectacular spot. And a long hike back.
Great day. Great weather, great recon, practice skills. Fallout got to dust off the fire making skills. A good day all around.
Can't sleep. 2 nights of insomnia. No, really, 1 night of insomnia. 1 night of very cold, couldn't sleep, and tonight is too hot, probably can't sleep for that reason, but also wide awake.
Note to Ole Grizz: never cross the stream without water shoes on.
We're gonna hope that it doesn't continue to rain throughout the night so we can pack up dry.
And we'll see how the night goes. This is Fallout signing off.
I'll talk to you later.
Good night. Day 3. And it has stopped raining. Which is great. Means we don't have to pack up in the wet. So all that's really left to do now is pack up, clean up the campsite, and get underway. But before I do that, one thing that I wanted to show you was this. Little boot stands that I made. And the nice thing about it is that if it rains, water's not going to get in them. Critters are going to have a hard time getting in them as well. And then it doesn't take up any space in the pockets of my hammock. Very simple, but effective. As you can tell, campsite is fully cleaned up. And one important note that I want to make is make sure your fire is not smoldering and there's no trash. When we were out reconning, we found a couple other campsites, and one was actually still smoldering that was left, abandoned, and we used some of our water to put it out. So don't be that person and don't leave any trash. Now, it's time for us to get out of here. Now that we found some flat trail, I get to check in with my crew, see how they did last night, because we just packed up real quick because we didn't want to pack up in the rain. So Fallout, how'd you do last night with that scavenged sleeping bag?
I did pretty well. Honestly though, the night before was really cold. Last night, not that cold. I didn't really need to use it so much, but you know, it's a good piece of equipment to have. I found it and I'm going to keep it and give it away to somebody because I don't see wasting something like that. It's just a small kid's sleeping bag, but you can use it as a quilt, and that's what I was planning on doing with it.
That's a great way of scavenging, finding something, and then adapting and, well, enduring. So, Ole Grizz, how'd you do?
Very well. Very warm. Hardly needed my blanket. But as the night went on, it's kind of nice to have it lay over, put my feet in and pull it up over me. Nice sleeping. Till the rain came, then I had to jump up and throw my fly up. But I chose not to stake it out. Just kind of drape it over my hammock. And for me, in the rain that we had, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, you got lucky that the wind didn't start blowing with that.
Yeah, if the wind had picked up, I was going to have to get out of my rack again.
Well, clearly we all survived. Now we just got to continue to get out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this bug out episode. I know I enjoy going out, whether it's good or bad, but Fallout, how does it feel to be back?
Feels good to be back. A little rusty on my fire skills, but overall I feel pretty good about it. And just remember, if you find anything out in the woods,
use it, don't let it go to waste.
It's a great tip. And Ole Grizz, how'd you fare? That
I
second
fared
night?
well. There's a lot of hiking. Woo! But
Well, it's good.
Good trip.
Well, it's good to stay in shape.
yeah, for almost 70-year-old.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. As for me, it's always fun to get out there and practice new printer skills and kind of create some stuff. But with that in mind, we will see you next time.